I'm a little busy today, Mr. Ambassador. If you're through pouting, I'd like to get to business, she began. Your country just committed an act of war against the United States of America. Your government attempted to murder 4 of my fellow citizens and endangered many bystanders. I need you to answer one question as a diplomatic formality. Does Saudi Arabia wish to declare war on the United States of America? The ambassador's eyes grew wide, and his head pulled back as if he had been slapped. He looked left, then right, at the Marine Guards, and he understood. They aren't armed guards for show. They're armed guards for real. And though they stood at rigid attention, he could see they watched him carefully, like tigers watch prey. He could see what they were thinking. He could see in their eyes, Allahu Akbar, my ass. Still blustering, he leaned toward the secretary. Of course not, Madame Secretary. How could you even think such a preposterous thing? Good, she said, and made a check mark on the pad of paper in front of her. War with Saudi Arabia would be 24 hours I can't spare right now. Would you be so kind as to explain why your country committed an act of war by trying to kill 4 American citizens? Her matter-of-fact contempt for his country sobered him. America has a complete war-fighting army and air force already stationed in Saudi Arabia. She's right. We're hers for the taking in 24 hours. She just doesn't want us. He was still outraged, but calming down. He puffed his chest as he said, It was revenge, Madame Secretary. Revenge? For what? For what? For destroying my country, and my way of life, of course. For that we claim the ancient right of vengeance. The secretary looked at him in silence, deadpan. The silence grew awkward. The ambassador filled the silence. And in the hope that their deaths might delay the coming economic collapse, for a little while. He paused. For that you should thank us. The secretary continued to look at him in silence. When it was clear the ambassador had nothing more to add, she said, I'm disappointed, but perhaps that's my fault. We really do need higher standards for our allies. Vengeance? Vengeance. Unbelievable. How 12th century. Oh well, at least it means you're going to appreciate this next part. We're going to settle this tonight on TV at 9 p.m. I'm obliged to say this to you formally, and I will repeat it tonight on TV. Using your lawful chain of command, your government ordered active-duty Saudi Arabian soldiers to perform this de facto act of war. Under international law, that constitutes invasion of U.S. sovereign territory. And the soldiers were out of uniform, which is a violation of the international law of war. Therefore, they have forfeited the privileges of lawful combatants, and I'm allowed to treat them as wartime spies. The United States is completely within our legal rights, domestic and international, to have all of them executed by firing squad on live TV this evening. 9 o'clock Eastern Time will give us the biggest audience. That's 2 hours from now. He thought, she can't be serious. This is demented. She continued, I will require that you and a Wahhabist mullah be there under protection of diplomatic immunity, of course, to offer the condemned their traditional last rites. We can provide the blindfolds, or, if you prefer, you can bring your own. She paused. We decided not to use the traditional biblical form of execution. The Bible says we should disembowel them, whereas the Quran says we should simply behead them. But Americans like guns, so we've decided to shoot them. There's one thing we haven't decided, though. I think we should shoot all 6 of them at once in a widescreen panorama event, but the president thinks we should shoot them one at a time, with the cameras focused up close on each one. She looked the ambassador square in his now even wider eyes and said, For your country's sake, I hope they die well.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.